Hello, this is William McClay, and I am recording my video for Intro to Game Programming for Project 1 Sprite Mover. So the first thing on our objective is the sprite import and display, which as you can see, there are plenty of sprites that have been imported from the asset store and are displaying on the screen as we play the game. The next thing is the get key down or get button down. I have this for when you're holding shift and you press the left arrow that the sprite will move one unit to the left or one unit to the right if you press the right arrow. And the get key down means that if you hold the button, it won't keep doing it. It will only do it the once when you press the button. So holding left arrow will not keep moving the sprite to the left. It will only move it once. The get key and the get access I used the get access for my rigid body, which enables my sprite to move, and the rigid body gives it physics and like gravity that the Unity engine can actually alter. And the get key I use for um, determining if left shift is being held by the player. So direct movement by setting position, I use that for the spacebar. So if the player presses the spacebar, it will set them to a new position, to a new vector, which is the starting position that I have the sprite starting in. So if I unpress play here, you'll see that he starts right here. And if you're playing and you press space, you go right to that location. So the additive movement by adding movement vector to position, I did that a bit differently through rigid body. So basically I have the rigid body and I'm setting a velocity with a new vector point, and I'm multiplying it by the velocity x, which we're getting here by the get access raw, and I'm multiplying it by the movement speed, which is a public float that you can adjust in the inspector right here. So currently is at 3. And I believe that is the next point as well. The movement speed is an inspector and it's available for designers to change. So for simultaneous key presses, I have that for right here. I have if you are holding left shift and the left arrow, or left shift and the right arrow, it will move you one unit instantly to the left or right. So I use the AND operator in order to determine if they're being pressed at the same time. So the model behavior, enabled and disabled, I have that in a whole nother script. I call it enable disable. And for the model behavior, I have a public behavior right here that I call movement component, and I just set it to be the player movement in the inspector right here. So I just drag this down to here. And if the user presses the P key, then player movement script will no longer work. So if you can hear my keyboard, I'm pressing A and D and left and right arrow, and he won't move at all. If I press P again, that's working. The game object, which I have also in this enable and disable, I have it with the key. So the game object, I have a public game object called player, and again I just drag the player over here in the inspector to set that as the player. And when you press Q, it will disable the player, which will break the game. I have application quit, which I actually have to open up my build real quick to show that. So here in the build, everything's working, and if I hit the escape button, the application will quit. So bug and error free, as you can see on the console, as I press everything, there's No errors popping up. So luckily everything's working great. Comments, as you can see, I commented everything. Go through and show you all the comments that I've made, all the greens, all the comments. Plenty and plenty of comments. Project organization, all my stuff, all my game objects are in, other game objects as kind of like a folder kind of situation here. In my project, I have them all where they're supposed to be. So I have my assets that I got from the store, the animations, and I have the main scenes in there. Both my scripts are in the script folder. This is where I got the sprite work from, Sunnyland. Everything is nice and organized. And then for game exceed the minimum requirements, I did that with the animations. I went ahead and learned how to animate my guy all myself, and I'm really proud of it. It's really nice. And it was actually really fun to animate. It was a lot easier than I was expecting. And alright, that is my video. Hope you enjoyed.